The WNBA has always been fueled by intense rivalries, but when those battles spill from the hardwood to social media, things can get real messy, real fast. And that's exactly what happened in Indiana. What started as an online war surrounding Caitlin Clark soon took a wild turn, dragging NaLyssa Smith into the chaos and ultimately altering her entire future in the league. Smith, once seen as a franchise cornerstone for the Indiana Fever, was shockingly traded to the Dallas Wings.
The Indiana Fever have traded NaLyssa Smith and got Sophie Cunningham in a three-way trade. And boy, do I want to talk about it.
While her on-court performance played a role in that decision, let's be real, this wasn't just about basketball. If you dig deeper, it becomes clear that the online antics of Dijonai Carrington and the drama that followed may have played a key role in how things unraveled for Smith. So the question is, how it all started. The drama began when Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever's prized rookie and one of the most talked about players in basketball, found herself at the center of a heated debate. Clark, who had already taken the NCAA by storm with her record-breaking performances at Iowa, entered the WNBA with sky-high expectations. However, she also became a polarizing figure, drawing criticism from certain players who felt she received preferential treatment. By now, everyone knows Caitlin Clark isn't just another rookie, she's a phenomenon.
Iowa's Caitlin Clark has become a national phenom, and some fans say they went the extra mile just to watch her play here. ABC 7's Kate Kogirin spoke with excited ticket holders at Welsh Shrine Arena.
Caitlin Clark is the GOAT!
Just watching her passion in the game, the way she just plays with her.
But with that spotlight came controversy. Some players felt Clark was getting superstar treatment before she even proved herself in the pros. Others just didn't vibe with the Caitlin Clark show taking over the league. One of the most vocal critics? Connecticut Sun guard Dijonai Carrington. Carrington wasn't subtle about her feelings. She hit up X with cryptic posts, throwing shade that everyone knew was aimed at Clark. On the court, she backed it up with aggressive play against Indiana, making it clear she wasn't about to bow down to the hype. Things really exploded when Clark found herself on the receiving end of some rough plays. First, there was Chennedy Carter's hard foul that sent shockwaves through social media. Fans argued over whether Clark was being unfairly targeted or just getting the standard welcome to the W treatment. And then, the eye poke heard round the world. During a playoff matchup between the Fever and the Sun, Carrington went for a steal and accidentally poked Clark in the eye. Clark hit the floor, later emerging with a black eye. She downplayed it, calling it an unfortunate basketball play.
Quickly circling back on the play with your eye, what would you say to the crowd of people that think a hit like that was intentional?
It wasn't intentional by any means. You just watched the play. It wasn't intentional.
But the internet had other plans. Fans were heated. Analysts debated whether the physicality toward Clark was too much.
Carrington stabbed Caitlin Clark with her fingernails right in the eye. There was no foul call. There was no real discussion of it on the ESPN broadcast.
WNBA vets chimed in. The whole thing blew up. And then came the moment that took the drama to another level. After the game, Carrington went live on Instagram, and who was right there laughing along with her? NaLyssa Smith. In the clip, Carrington reenacted the eye poke while Smith chuckled beside her. Now, was it meant to be malicious? Probably not. But when the whole internet is debating whether Clark is being disrespected, and you're out here joking about an incident that gave her a black eye, yeah, people are gonna talk. And talk, they did. Clark's fans were furious. Fever supporters felt betrayed. Even some league veterans gave Smith the side eye for laughing at her own teammates' pain.
When you look at the WNBA as a whole, how is it possible that either NaLyssa, I should say both NaLyssa and Dijonai, not be called on the carpet for this?
And before she knew it, Smith wasn't just dealing with a rough season on the court. She was caught in the middle of the biggest storyline in women's basketball. While fans had an impact of this still on their mind, both Smith and Carrington once again took it to X. This time it was after a game where an Indiana Fever had Smith on the court. The two girlfriends exchanged words, laughing out how Fever game her minutes on the court. What else do you expect? It only ignited the debate further with both of them in the middle. Now let's keep it real. Smith's situation wasn't just about online drama. She was already having a tough season. Once seen as Indiana's go-to player, her numbers had dipped. She wasn't dominating like she did in her rookie year, and her impact on the court wasn't living up to that number. Second overall pick status. Her rebounding slipped, her shooting efficiency dropped, and with Clark's arrival bringing a media circus to Indiana, every little thing about the Fever was magnified. Smith admitted she wasn't playing her best, but instead of getting support, she was getting roasted online. People were calling her out for laughing with Carrington. They were saying she wasn't stepping up when Clark needed help, and while she mostly stayed quiet, the noise was impossible to ignore. To make matters worse, Indiana was under insane pressure. With Clark boosting TV ratings and selling out arenas, the Fever were expected to build around her ASAP. They couldn't afford distractions. They needed players who fit the vision. And suddenly, Smith didn't seem like a part of it. Eventually, the Fever made a move everyone saw coming. They traded NaLyssa Smith to the Dallas Wings. Was it all about her struggles? Now, but was the drama a factor? Absolutely. Indiana needed a roster shakeup. They needed pieces that worked better with Clark. And with Smith fading into the background, both on and off the court, the Fever decided to cut ties. The trade sent Smith packing to Dallas, a team known for taking chances on players who need a fresh start. But here's the kicker. She wasn't the only one making the move. Her girlfriend, Dijonai Carrington, also landed in Dallas after being traded from Connecticut. And just like that, Smith had a fresh start. With a familiar face by her side, the Wings, already stacked with talent like Arike Ogunbowale, Satu Sabali, and Tiara McCowan, saw potential in Smith. If she could rediscover her Baylor dominance, this trade could be a steal for Dallas.
She can be. She's already great. I mean, she's averaging a double-double for us. I just think the sky's the limit.
But let's be real. Smith's got something to prove. Here's the wild part. Dijonai Carrington was never even on the Fever, but her actions may have played a role in changing their roster. She kept the Clark drama alive on social media. She made sure the discourse around Indiana never cooled down. And intentionally or not, her presence made it harder for Smith to just focus on basketball. And this isn't just about Smith. It's about how the modern WNBA is evolving.
I've been hearing that a lot, but I didn't think it was a goodbye. It was more so just like, me appreciating all the people that did help me get through this season, and just helping me keep my mental health on straight. I just put I don't know what the future holds, because in this league, so many players jump around, get traded, get waived, get this, get that. So it's like, I could have said the same thing last year, this year. I don't know what my future holds. So.
The league is growing, the spotlight is bigger than ever, and social media is shaping narratives like never before. Players aren't just judged on their stats, they're judged on everything: who they interact with, what they post, what they laugh at on an IG Live. For Smith, the fallout was real. She went from being a franchise piece to getting shipped out of town. Now, in Dallas, she's got a chance to rewrite her story. Can she shake off the drama and prove she's still got that superstar potential? Or will the noise follow her to the Western Conference? One thing's for sure, the internet never forgets.